Our universe runs on natural laws. Stars are born, planets orbit, lives begin and end. But what if, beneath these fundamental laws, there exists a hidden code, a matrix of consciousness that molds reality itself? A controversial notion emerges that the universe is not merely a stage where natural laws unfold, but a canvas painted by the brushstrokes of consciousness. Since ancient times, the quest to decipher these mysteries has unified the greatest minds across civilizations. From the sages of old to the modern thinkers of today, a common thread weaves through time, the pursuit of understanding the underpinning laws that shape existence. But what if there's more to the story? What if the very essence of these laws is rooted in the consciousness that observes them? The universe has not always been the way we see it today. It expanded from white-hot plasma billions of years ago, then transformed into atoms and molecules, then into stars, galaxies, and planets. Life came along much later, and with that came consciousness as we know it, in ourselves to be specific. Other creatures are conscious as well, but we have not yet figured out to what extent. We also don't know exactly how or when we became conscious, self-aware creatures. The development of our brains, assumed to be the seat of consciousness, took millions of years. That much we do know. The rest is a mystery. It is possible that we are the only fully conscious, self-aware creatures in the universe, but that's not very likely. We inhabit a planet orbiting a star that is one of 100 billion in the Milky Way galaxy, and there are billions of galaxies in the universe. It's much more probable that fully conscious beings are scattered throughout the cosmos. Whether we are alone or not doesn't matter really. Our consciousness had to arise from something. It didn't just happen. There are those who believe that the universe and everything in it is the consequence of random events, and that even the so-called laws of nature have come about randomly. But the very existence of consciousness, our consciousness, refutes it. Cognition isn't an arbitrary process. More than anything else, consciousness implies that natural order is real. The 17th century philosopher Benedict de Spinoza did not believe that the universe came about accidentally. In the Ethics he wrote, "Nothing in the universe is contingent, but all things are conditioned to exist and operate in a particular manner by the necessity of the divine nature." Panpsychism, the theory that the entire universe is conscious, is by no means a new idea. It has existed in one form or another across the centuries and in many different cultural and religious settings. But panpsychism isn't necessarily dated or even mystical, as there are many modern, secular, and even scientific arguments that have been made for it as well. Whether you are religious or not, chances are at least one of these three arguments will make you think twice about how you view the world around you. The first argument is what we call the integrated information theory. There's probably only one thing everyone can agree on when it comes to consciousness. It's a very strange phenomenon. One particular difficulty scientists have with consciousness is that it's impossible to get to it from first principles, or to put it another way, it's just not conducive to the reductive process of modern science. Unlike the seamless integration that often characterizes scientific exploration, consciousness resists emergence from fundamental components like neurons or atoms, confounding efforts to pinpoint its origin. The subjective experiences of red hues or emotions like joy, referred to as qualia, pose what's known as the hard problem of consciousness, an enigma seemingly impervious to conventional approaches. So instead of working from the ground up, neurologist Giulio Tononi proposed a top-down approach. This approach, known as integrated information theory, says that we can classify consciousness in terms of the common factors shared by all the things we know have consciousness. Out of those, Tononi points out that they all share certain properties. They collect information and integrate it. In this way, Tononi's theory proposes a definition of consciousness as the integration of information. Using this theory, any complex system can be assigned a number that tells you how integrated that system is. That number then gives you an information theoretical measure of consciousness. Any system assigned a number greater than 0 has some degree of consciousness. This is where things get a little bit strange. Obviously, this definition includes animals and humans with brains. So far, so good. But it also includes machines as well, meaning that, at least in theory, things like the internet itself could be conscious. Stranger still, there's a much larger system we know about which collects and integrates information: the universe itself. At any given time, countless amounts of data are being integrated all around the universe, from atomic collisions to complex, large-scale chemical reactions, all of which would require tremendously powerful supercomputers to replicate. The second argument is quantum consciousness. Some theorists have made strong analogical attempts to argue for panpsychism with regard to the strange phenomena observed in quantum physics. The American philosopher William Lycan once made this statement while proposing how consciousness may emerge. One little monitor does make for a little bit of consciousness. More monitors and better integration and control make for more and fuller consciousness. In this case, Lycan regards monitoring and integration as a basic component of consciousness in a very similar fashion to Tononi. There are many ways of framing the quantum panpsychism argument. One of them works on this monitoring and integrating definition. Consider the quantum property called entanglement, in which two photons may be observed to have correlating polarizations. The polarization of one photon has an effect on the other, no matter how far apart, meaning that, in a very real sense, each photon is monitoring the other. It follows then that the little bit of consciousness described by Lycan may in fact exist at the quantum level, where we find monitoring occurring on a very small scale everywhere in the universe. What is perhaps less clear then is how this monitoring would spread out into an integrated network, like the ones discussed in integrated information theory. This is a problem that panpsychists may need to explore in further research. The third one is non-emergentism. The last two arguments have asserted that consciousness might emerge from integrated informational systems, but another interesting theory works with the idea that consciousness may not be emergent at all. Non-emergentism, as the name suggests, is an argument based on the idea that emergent properties do not exist. What this means is that the basic properties of complex systems can be reduced to the simplest components of those systems as well. In other words, nothing comes of nothing, and consciousness must be found not only in entire systems, but in their most basic components as well. This theory posits consciousness as a universal property of matter and, as a result, must mean consciousness is present in the entire material universe. Perhaps one of the most intriguing arguments comes from a mix of non-emergentism and evolution. Many theorists, including English mathematician and philosopher William Kingdon Clifford, have argued that evolution is a process which creates complicated systems out of simpler ones, but which does not generate entirely novel properties, such as consciousness. Naturally, this means that the simple components of biological systems must contain the same properties as we find in the entire system itself: consciousness. It may be helpful to think about this argument by taking a quick trip backwards through our own hereditary timeline. At what point did our ancestors develop consciousness? With the emergence of our species. This is unlikely, given that our ancestors also had intricate brains and nervous systems. What about the emergence of vertebrates? This also seems unlikely, given the exceptional intelligence of many mollusks like squid and octopi. Even with regards to integrated information theory, single-cell organisms carry out their own input-output processes while storing, processing, and integrating data, which could very well be equivalent to a form of consciousness. Although these theories are not perfect and, at the very least, are not conclusive, they do point towards some compelling possibilities. So, is the universe conscious? Meaning, the universe itself, at an underlying and foundational level, is mental. That all phenomena of life, matter, and energy of the material universe are thoughts of an infinite and universal living mind. Which means all things share a connection in the fact they exist within the mind of the all, as it is put, and therefore are all subject to the laws of created things. This mental universe, for the sake of experiment, could be explained as an infinite intelligence, an intelligent field, and even the nature of consciousness itself, creating a dialogue of thought, which dances with thought. The principle of mentalism explains the nature of energy, power, and matter as being subordinate to the mind, as it shows up within ourselves and the pervading nature of all things. When you view everything you think and therefore do as an interaction of thought with thought, you develop an understanding of the first principle of mentalism, which allows you to grasp the laws of the mental universe. The idea that all is mind connects smoothly with Hermetic philosophy. forging a link between consciousness and timeless wisdom. This connection reveals that the universe's core is rooted in the power of the mind. Hermeticism explores how the small and big worlds are linked, much like the idea that the universe reflects our thoughts. The as above, so below, as below, so above concept aligns with all is mind, where the cosmos's laws mirror the laws of our minds. The 7 Hermetic principles guiding the universe's workings mesh well with the principle of mentalism. It shows thoughts are crucial, as with the principle of polarity, which says love and hate share an energy thread. This insight aids personal change via mindful thinking and choice. In this blend of thought, mentalism, and hermeticism offer paths for change. Our mind becomes a lab where thoughts shape reality. The laws of the mental universe guide life's twists. At the heart of this concept lies the revelation that the universe at its core is infused with consciousness. This consciousness permeates the intricate dance of subatomic particles, giving rise to the symphony of reality itself. When we delve into the world of quantum physics, we uncover a realm where particles display behavior that defies our conventional understanding. Subatomic entities seem to exist in multiple states simultaneously, only collapsing into a definite state upon observation. This curious behavior echoes the principle of mentalism, suggesting that the act of observation, driven by consciousness, plays a pivotal role in shaping reality. Consider electrons, those minuscule subatomic wanderers. They dance around atomic nuclei, their trajectories influenced by probabilities rather than set paths. In this dance, we glimpse the universe's inherent flexibility, a realm where consciousness weaves its enchanting patterns. The connection between consciousness and the universe goes beyond tiny particles. It stretches out into the entire cosmos. Galaxies move in patterns, stars are born and die, and cosmic bodies interact like particles in a dance. This cosmic dance makes us wonder if these happenings are just mechanical or if they show a conscious cosmic mind at work. Scientists find order in the universe's seeming chaos. Galaxies group together and line up in ways that seem more than random chance. Could this organized cosmic dance be a sign of a universal consciousness guiding everything? The idea that all is mind also leads us to think about how our personal consciousness is linked to the universe's bigger intelligence. Just like our thoughts affect our own lives, could our shared consciousness shape the entire universe? This brings up the old question of whether we're just watching the universe or if we're actually part of its story. In this mix of consciousness and existence, tiny particles become partners in a dance with our thoughts. The universe turns into a canvas where consciousness is the artist, creating from the smallest to the largest things. The connection between particles and cosmic consciousness asks us to see the universe as a conscious being itself. It makes us rethink what we know about reality, suggesting that our consciousness might not be separate from the universe, but instead deeply connected to it. Plato's philosophy divides our reality into 2 realms: the material world of fleeting appearances, in constant flux and imperfection, and the world of eternal ideas or forms. This realm of forms represents a domain of unchanging perfection, where timeless ideals find their home. Plato's belief posits that everything we perceive in our material realm is a mere imitation of the ideal form that resides in this perfect realm. He astutely pointed out that while our senses acquaint us with the material realm, the realm of forms remains accessible only through intellectual contemplation. Like individuals confined within a cave, oblivious to the outside world, Plato employed this analogy to depict our limited awareness of the realm of forms. He acknowledged, however, an innate understanding of these forms, theorizing that our souls originate from this realm and have an intuitive connection to it, predating our embodiment. Could it be that our perceptions, shaped by the dance of consciousness, are mere reflections of these timeless ideals? As we navigate the boundaries of our understanding, we find ourselves standing at a crossroads of inquiry. Are we observers of a cosmic tapestry, or could it be that our very consciousness weaves the threads of reality? The late physicist John Wheeler concluded that the apparent oddity of quantum mechanics was built on an even grander and odder truth: that the universe as a whole festers in a state of uncertainty and snaps into a clear actual being when observed by a conscious being, that is, us. We are participators in bringing into being not only the near and here, but the far away and long ago, Wheeler said in 2006. He calls his interpretation the participatory anthropic principle. If he is correct, the universe is conscious. This idea suggests that the universe in all its vastness dwells in a state of potentiality until observed by conscious beings. Our very act of observation, it is proposed, brings clarity to the nebulous landscape of possibilities, shaping reality in ways that defy conventional explanation. Wheeler's proposition resonates with the deep-seated connection between consciousness and existence. It's a perspective that echoes the timeless sentiments of Albert Einstein, who envisioned the unifying essence of art and science in awakening a cosmic sense of connectedness. As we engage with the mysteries that envelop us, we glimpse the profound interplay between our awareness and the universe itself. While the participatory anthropic principle may elude empirical validation, its essence lingers as an echo of the cosmic dance we find ourselves in. It beckons us to explore the frontiers of our understanding, to ponder the boundaries of reality, and to embrace the idea that our consciousness plays a vital role in the unfolding narrative of the cosmos. In this shared exploration, we bridge the realms of science and philosophy, fostering a dialogue that stretches the limits of our perception. While conclusive proof may remain elusive, the very act of contemplating the participatory anthropic principle enriches our journey, leaving us with a sense of wonder and interconnectedness that transcends the bounds of our individual perspectives. When it comes to understanding reality, consciousness, the mind, and basically everything, we've barely scratched the surface. Consider the very nature of reality itself. Are we perceiving an objective external world, or is our reality shaped by the filters of our consciousness? Could it be that the universe exists as we perceive it, or does it harbor hidden dimensions and facets beyond our senses? These questions tug at the fabric of our understanding, prompting us to question whether what we perceive is the entirety of what exists. Venturing further, we encounter the intricate relationship between consciousness and matter. Does consciousness arise from the complex interactions of neurons in our brain, or could it be that consciousness is not confined to our physical bodies? Is there a deeper connection between the observer and the observed, suggesting that our consciousness influences the world around us? The realm of quantum mechanics adds another layer of intrigue. Quantum phenomena challenge our classical understanding of cause and effect. Is it possible that the very act of observation collapses probabilities into concrete outcomes? Could consciousness itself be entwined with these quantum mysteries, shaping the very fabric of reality? Delving into the nature of time, we find ourselves pondering its true essence. Is time an objective constant, or does it bend and warp in response to our perception and experience? Could the past, present, and future be interconnected in ways that defy our linear understanding? These questions invite us to question the nature of our temporal existence. Answering the intricate questions surrounding reality, consciousness, and the mysteries of the mind requires a nuanced exploration that draws upon the wisdom of philosophy, the insights of science, and the contemplative nature of human inquiry. First off, to decipher the nature of reality, we must contemplate the distinction between an objective external world and the realm of perception. Philosophical perspectives like idealism suggest that reality is a product of consciousness, implying that what we perceive shapes our reality. Scientifically, advances in neuroscience and psychology offer insights into how our perceptions are constructed in the brain. However, reconciling these viewpoints remains a challenge. A comprehensive approach might involve studying the nature of perception, exploring the limits of our senses, and understanding how our subjective experiences collectively contribute to our understanding of reality. The origin of consciousness remains a philosophical and scientific puzzle. Neuroscience endeavors to decipher how brain processes give rise to consciousness, exploring the interplay of neural networks and biochemical interactions. On the other hand, consciousness theories like panpsychism, as we've discussed before, propose that consciousness is an inherent property of all matter, suggesting that it's not solely confined to the brain. Scientifically, understanding the neural basis of consciousness through brain imaging and neural modeling provides valuable insights. Additionally, exploring altered states of consciousness, such as meditation or psychedelic experiences, offers unique perspectives. Addressing questions about the influence of consciousness on quantum phenomena involves interdisciplinary thinking. The role of observation in collapsing quantum probabilities remains a topic of debate. Quantum experiments involving the famous double-slit experiment shed light on the behavior of particles when observed and unobserved. Research in quantum mechanics, experimental physics, and quantum information theory provides insights into the nature of quantum interactions and how they might intersect with consciousness. Philosophically, time's nature as an objective constant or a subjective experience remains an open question. Physicists explore theories like Einstein's theory of relativity, which suggests that time dilation occurs based on velocity and gravity. Uniting relativity with quantum mechanics through theories like quantum gravity might provide a more comprehensive understanding. Studying time perception through psychology and neuroscience unveils how our minds process temporal experiences and the potential for subjective time dilation during various situations. Is humankind still evolving? Yes, of course we are. Everything is. Are we on a collective path towards a transhuman realization of the divine, towards a greater consciousness? It's hard to say one way or another. But this much I do know: the nature of nature itself is hidden in plain sight. In those rare and fleeting moments when we set aside our biases, we see nature for what it really is. That is how we apprehend the divine. That is how we encounter the greater consciousness of the universe itself. The names and attributes we project onto this phenomenon only underscore our ignorance. After all, the force behind nature is unfathomable. Nature's consciousness goes beyond words. And that's it for the video. The universe is a weird and fun place to be. We just have to keep exploring and keep wondering, because this cosmic ride is a truly unique and exciting experience. You can watch my other videos about this topic on the playlist on your screen. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.